Small wheels expose big lies. A fictional conversation about children, movement, safety, and the cities that carry them. We should stop protecting children. We should stop calling it protection. Calling what protection? Keeping children inside, driving them everywhere, making sure they never encounter anything unexpected. Parents drive because the streets are dangerous. I know. Then why blame us? I don't. No parent should be asked to volunteer their child for danger. Then what's your point? Parents make decisions within the choices the city provides. What does that mean? Why do parents drive children to school? Because it's convenient, sometimes. Because it's faster, sometimes. Because we're afraid not to. Exactly. Afraid of traffic, so you become traffic. That's absurd. It's rational. How can it be both? Individually rational, collectively absurd. Explain. One mother looks outside. The sidewalk is blocked. The crossing is dangerous. Cars move too quickly. So she drives. That makes sense. Another mother sees more traffic. She also drives. That still makes sense. Soon, the school gate is surrounded the traffic everyone was trying to avoid. So parents create the danger? Careful, I'm not blaming parents. It sounds like you are. The system produces a decision that makes sense for each parent and fails every family. Then who should stop driving first? That's the wrong question. Why? Because the city has made the healthy choice the dangerous choice. So what should the city do? Make the safe choice genuinely safe. That sounds obvious. It isn't. We tell children to move more, then design streets where movement feels reckless. We worry about their health, then drive them 500 meters. We worry about screens, then remove the public spaces that might compete with them. You blame cities for smartphones? No, but perhaps the screen is not always the cause. What is it then? Sometimes it's the refuge. From what? From a world children can no longer enter independently. Meaning, when the street became unsafe, the screen became safe. When the sidewalk became hostile, the sofa became comfortable. That's depressing. It's also reversible. How? Give children somewhere to go. They have playgrounds. Can they reach them? Their parents take them. Exactly. Why is that a problem? Because access supervised by an adult is not independence. Children need supervision. Of course, but we have turned supervision into the permanent condition of childhood. Isn't that protection? There's that word again. Then define it. Good protection should make independence progressively possible. That sounds contradictory. Think of teaching a child to swim. You begin by holding them. Then you let go. And if the water is dangerous, you make the environment safer. You don't prohibit an entire generation from entering the water. So, what does a protected childhood look like? A childhood with room to expand. First the courtyard, then the sidewalk, then the corner shop, then school, then the neighborhood. A growing geography. Exactly. Independence does not arrive automatically at a certain age. It develops through practice. Small decisions? Small decisions. Small risks, small corrections. Like riding a bicycle, or walking, or using a scooter. Anything that allows the child to move rather than merely be moved. What's the difference? A suitcase is moved. A child moves. That's wordplay. Only if the words mean the same thing. Go on. A child in a car is transported. A child on foot or on a bicycle navigates. They still arrive at the same place. Eventually. So what matters besides arriving? Everything that happens before they arrive. Like what? Looking, listening, choosing, stopping, starting again. That's all? Noticing that the dog behind the gate is barking, that there are 3 red cars and 1 green one, that construction equipment makes a rhythm if you listen long enough. You make walking to kindergarten sound like an expedition. To a 3-year-old it is. To an adult, it's 1 kilometer. Exactly. Adults measure distance, children experience it. Parents have jobs, schedules, responsibilities. I know. Not everyone has time for a philosophical walk every morning. It isn't philosophical to the child. What is it? Life. That sounds dramatic. Only because we've reduced movement to travel time. Isn't that how transport works? Origin, destination, distance, speed, duration, and everything between them? Delay. That's harsh. It's also how we plan. A child stopping to look into a pothole becomes inefficiency. A pothole is not educational infrastructure. You should tell that to a child. They love potholes. They shouldn't. Why? They're defects. To us. To them, they're terrain. So now we should keep the potholes? No, but perhaps we should notice that children experience the city differently. At child speed? Exactly. How fast is that? Sometimes very fast, sometimes completely still. That's not helpful. It isn't designed to be helpful. It's designed to notice things. Speeds don't notice things. People do, and speed determines what they can notice. You see less from a car, and more on foot. What about on a small bicycle? The city becomes a sequence of decisions. Go around the manhole or through it. Slow down before the curb or try to climb it. Pass the pedestrian or wait. That sounds like play. It is. I thought we were discussing transport. We are. Movement is how children learn balance, judgment, attention, and confidence. That's a lot of responsibility for two small wheels. They can handle it. And the stroller? The stroller reveals whether the city can. How? Try pushing one through Yerevan. Suddenly you see everything. Curbs, steps, cracks, missing ramps, blocked sidewalks, crossings that end in nowhere. Things you never noticed before. Things I could step over without thinking. A stroller cannot step over anything. So it changes your perspective. It becomes an urban research instrument, a very expensive measuring device, and remarkably accurate. What does it measure? Whether the city means what it says. About accessibility, inclusion, safety, public space. Those are large conclusions for small wheels. Small wheels are excellent at detecting large lies, such as that a sidewalk is accessible because it exists, that a ramp works because someone poured concrete at an angle, that a crossing connects two sides because white lines were painted on asphalt, or that a park is nearby because you can see it. Not if 6 lanes of traffic stand between you and it. So accessibility is more than distance. A place can be 100 meters away and functionally unreachable. Then what should we measure? Possibility. Possibility of what? Of reaching a place safely, comfortably, and with some dignity. And children reveal whether that is possible. Children reveal the city without its excuses. How? An adult adapts, a child exposes. Meaning, a step is just a step until small wheels cannot pass it. A dangerous crossing is just traffic until your child needs to cross. A blocked sidewalk is an inconvenience until you have to push the stroller into the road. Exactly. So child-friendly design helps everyone, parents with strollers, older people, people using wheelchairs, anyone carrying shopping. Then why don't we build that way? Because we treat children as passengers rather than participants. Children aren't citizens. They live in the city, they breathe its air, they use its public space, they experience its decisions. They simply don't vote for the people making them. Exactly. Then how do we know what kind of city we've built for them? Ask simple questions, such as, can a child reach school without being driven? Can they cross the main road? Can they reach the park? Can they stop without being in someone's way? Can they exist in public without constant adult protection? That would tell us something about the city, more than average traffic speed. Traffic speed matters, of course, but so does childhood. What should we do tomorrow morning? Walk, cycle, use a scooter. That sounds like advice for parents again. Then let's advise the city. Go on. Clear the sidewalk, fix the crossing, slow the cars, create school streets, build continuous roads. And if the street is still dangerous, Don't blame the mother who drives. Change the street that made driving the responsible choice. How long did it take your child to reach kindergarten? The first day? 40 minutes. For 1 kilometre? Yes. Driving would have taken 5. Probably. Then driving is better. Better at what? Getting there. If getting there is the only purpose of the journey, you're right. What else happened? He learned the route. He balanced. He listened. He chose. He stopped. He started again. And in the car? He would have arrived earlier. You say that as if time doesn't matter. It matters, but it isn't the only thing that matters. So what did those extra minutes produce? Balance, attention, judgment, confidence, memory, a relationship with place, a little more independence than the day before, and fatigue. So the slower journey may have done more than transport. Then perhaps we need another word for it. Experience? Education? Life? Those are very large words for a kindergarten trip, only from an adult height, and from child height. It was a considerable journey. So when a child asks, "Are we there yet?" perhaps we should ask what we mean by there. Kindergarten, obviously, and after kindergarten. School, then university, then work. We spend childhood carrying children toward the next destination. And perhaps sometimes we should allow them to arrive by themselves. You make that sound simple. It isn't. What's the alternative? Carry them everywhere, keep them safe inside, drive them from door to door, remove every uncertainty. And what happens then? They arrive. Where? Exactly.